Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to another edition of 5. Today we're going to be looking at 5 players who are going to be free agents at the start of Football Manager 2016 as the data lock has now passed. Meaning if you don't have a club right now, or if your club doesn't have a manager like mine, there'll be a free agent in the game or they won't have a manager. So great, I don't know who's going to be the model manager in real life, and it's going to be changing every single time in FM16. So we're starting off with the guy that scores all the goals, allegedly. We're starting off with Carlton Cole. Could have had a club, was on trial with Celtic up in Scotland but got an injury, but he's going to be a free agent, and it could be somebody if you're in the Championship or maybe the lower end of the Premier League, just to get you an extra couple of goals. Maybe somebody to bring off the bench, but a good powerful striker. I mean, he's got a great history behind him, a lot of good clubs he's been at, Chelsea as a youngster. He really did break out, more so for me when he was at Charlton. Didn't score many goals, but I thought he'd done really well in that loan spell. Decent one at Villa as well. Good stint at West Ham, but all good things come to an end, and now he's a free agent. Now it'll be interesting to see what kind of club looks at him from an AI perspective, and what kind of clubs that you can take him to as a free agent. Speaking of West Ham, next up is West Ham's former captain, Kevin Nolan, of course released, basically because he was not needed under Slaven Bilic's plans, with all the rumours that he could be going to Sunderland because of Big Sam taking over. Again, it hasn't happened in time before the data lock, so he will be a free agent. Maybe not as great technically in the game, but could be a brilliant guy to bring in for the mental side of things. Losing a little bit physically, but I think he could be somebody, come in for 60 minutes a game, could be a good influence, a good tutor to some of your younger players. I think he's more than likely destined to the same as Carlton Cole, lower Premier League, higher Championship, but depending on his wages, he could be an interesting pick-up in FM16. We all know his career, absolutely fantastic at Bolton. Went to Newcastle, part of the team that went down, done well in the Championship, did well when they came back, started off okay in the Championship with West Ham. West Ham fans didn't particularly take to him, and the wages, it was just time for both sides to part, and he's now a free agent. Now this one is an interesting one. He was released after the deadline in real life, which means he can't sign in real life for a club until January, but will that affect him in FM16? I don't think so. I think he should be able to be signed. So Emmanuel Adebayor is going to be probably the most, or one of the better free agents on the market. He might cost you a lot, but he could be somebody that you could take to probably a higher team in most leagues, to be honest. Maybe a Europa League team, or maybe just outside the Europa League. It's going to be really interesting to see what he can do. Obviously, I think he'll be decreased a good bit technically, maybe a little bit physically, but he should be definitely a great hand to bring in. I mean, a list of clubs he's been at, youngster at Metz, came through to Monaco. That got him his move to Arsenal, where he had 2 very good years there in the latter years of his career. Went to Man City. He started off okay, then it went downhill. A loan move to Real Madrid's amazing. For a good spell at Tottenham, before it's just decided, no thanks, your services are no longer required, and he is a free agent. Will he add any more big clubs to this, or will it be lesser clubs that will be interesting? But I think maybe like a Leicester could benefit from him. A Watford could be good. Places like that would be interesting to see where he ends up, but definitely Emmanuel Adebayor could be not the biggest, but one of the biggest names available as a free agent for FM16. Now this one is a really interesting one. Ricky Alvarez. Basically a couple of years ago, this guy, when he was a youngster, had the world at his feet when he was at Vélez Sarsfield. Just so many clubs were looking at him, and it was eventually Inter Milan that picked him up for an amazing £11 million. Unfortunately in Serie A, in Europe, he never really hit the form that he had at Vélez Sarsfield, and was moved to Sunderland, where it was even worse. It's just never happened for him. There was some mess with his contract, I believe, in real life, and he's now a free agent. Now the thing is, he's only 27 in real life. He's got tons of technical ability, as you can see, some decent mentals in FM, maybe not the greatest player physically, but surely to hell, one of us picking him up as a free agent can turn this guy back into a superstar. I definitely think he's got the ability. There's definitely enough time to turn that around. I just think it's mind-boggling how somebody with so good ability it's not happened for them. So I think if I'm a decent level side, it's maybe mid-table in most European countries, try to push into those Europa League spots. Ricky Alvarez is somebody I'm definitely going to purchase, definitely recommend him. I'm pretty sure maybe even a couple of FM ago he was a wonder kid, but some player and it's just a shame that he's going to be a free agent in FM16. Last but not least, guys, we have one of the biggest names in world football in the last 10-15 years. We have Ronaldinho. Obviously, at Fluminense and this, he had the spell over in Mexico as well, but he is a free agent at the moment. 35, and we all know he's not going to be great physically in the game, but we know mentally and technically he is going to be an absolute superstar. So I don't think he'll do it in the top leagues, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of sides are able to attract Ronaldinho. You never know, we could finally see a lot of people bringing Ronaldinho to English football, to European football again. I honestly could see him still doing a job in the likes of, a club chasing the Europa League. Maybe even as a rotation player for like the Champions League sides, is just somebody taking a tutor to the younger players. But the fact that somebody of this quality, the legacy he's got as a free agent, sometimes people just sign him because it's Ronaldinho, but it's absolutely amazing that he's a free agent, and definitely something I think a lot of people are going to pick up. So Ronaldinho, free agent, I might just sign him straight away because it's Ronaldinho. But that's it for this episode, guys. So that's 5 guys, big names that are free agents in FM16. Are you going to pick up any of these guys? Let me know in the comments section below. There's plenty of other free agents as well, so maybe you've seen the list of guys who are available. Who would you pick up? Let me know who you're going to sign. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit that sub button for more 5 videos, and remember to give it a wee cheeky like. But until next time, it's Twitter Maxwell. I'll see you real soon. Bye bye.